I'm just going to show you some things related to blending layers together. I like to isolate things, so I'm finding when I look at too much of the image, confusing for me. I need to isolate areas and then bring it all together. So I'm going to turn the flamingos off so I'm not distracted by the flamingos. I'm going to turn the text layer off. And then I'm just going to focus on these two layers here. And actually bring this layer back down. You can shuffle layers around in the program. That's how, think of it as shuffling stacks of paper. So here's my background image. And then here's a space image I put over top of it. I'm going to make a copy of the space image quickly. Let's say if I didn't want the space image covering the entire thing and I just wanted it in part of it. I can hit Command or Control T, and then I can scale that down. Hit Enter. Let's say that I wanted to make a quick adjustment and change the color of this. Fast way to do that, I'm going to go up to Image, Adjustments, and I'm going to go Hue Saturation. Hue basically changes the color, so I can just make quick color shifts there. I can increase or decrease the saturation. So there you go. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go make another copy of that, move that copy over here. Let's say if I want to do it like this, and then I could go back into Image Adjustments, back into Hue Saturation, change that to another color. Now this isn't coming right to the edge here. I want both these images coming to the edge. Shift select two images together or multiple images together, Command or Control T, and then I can scale them together and then hit Enter. Now, if I want to combine this with the underlying layer, I've got a couple ways I can do that. I can go up into opacity, lower the opacity. Or I could go here to these blending modes. And the different blending modes allow the two layers to respond to each other differently in different ways. My favorite blending modes are multiply and soft light. I usually default to these areas and then check out what the other ones do after that. I think overlay actually looks pretty nice there. And then I'm going to go back to the green one and then see what one I like. If I like overlay, it's looking pretty cool with that. So now I've created like this grid thing. And I've got creative decisions I can make. I can start moving these around. If I'm really liking this color here and I want to make it the entire thing again rather than just in a corner, I can just scale that up by hitting Control or Command T, scale that up, and I'm done. Say if I want to add a little bit of the green one, I'm going to move this on top here. I actually like how the green's coming around the sun there, just randomly. I'm going to do that, maybe make it a bit bigger. What I don't like is the edge. So I want to blend that edge in. I'm just going to go to the Erase tool. Sometimes the simple tools are the best tools. Go to the Erase tool. I'm going to go Soft Brush. Remember, you can increase the size here, or the bracket keys beside the P key also change the size. I'm going to adjust my opacity not at 100, maybe make it between 60 and 80, and then just click the edge here. And then I can erase and kind of feather in that edge. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Then I could bring my text back in that I already had, Dreams Are Forever. And I could try moving that in different spots. And I feel like it looks a little bit better down here than up there. Feeling that. That looks cool. So I'm going to zoom in, but this text isn't standing out quite enough for me. There are some options in graphic options in Photoshop that I could do. This little area down here looks like an FX. It's called Layer Styles. If I click on this, these are where I could bevel and emboss it. I could put a stroke on it. I could put a drop shadow on it. In this case, I think the drop shadow is going to look nice. So click that. There's my drop shadow controls. And then I can decrease the size. I could even tweak this color here. I could click on that, and I can make that shadow a bit more blue to tie in. I'm going to go to my Move tool or Selection tool, move the flamingo to the edge here. I might want to make that flamingo a bit bigger. Command T, Control T, make it a bit bigger. I'm not liking how the flamingo looks like it's completely from another picture. So I'm going to do some quick brightness, contrast, color adjustment to that. So I'm going to go up to Image, Adjustments, and I'm going to adjust the levels of this. I'm going to make it a bit brighter. Here you go. So if I'm not completely satisfied with that, let's say if I wanted to tint it a little bit more. So let's go back into Hue Saturation. There you go. I'm going to add a little more pink to that right away. Then you could also adjust the opacity if you wanted to blend it in the background a little bit or keep it at full opacity there. So just with some levels and hue saturation, you've fit the flamingo into the image much better. You could adjust your opacity. You could check out blending modes and do all sorts of creative options that you want. I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to show you one more thing. I could go down here into this button here, this layer styles button. One of my favorite things for tinting things is gradient overlay. Go to overlay or soft light for your blending mode. Let's do overlay because we want it to, you know, pump up the color a little bit more. You could adjust that opacity if you need to. And here's where you can go click on the gradient, and then you can start customizing your gradient or adding gradient presets to the image. So let's go to pinks. Let's see what pinks do. Let's click on that. Then if you want, you can click on the gradient. If you need a little bit darker, click on it, double click on the color, and then you can shift this around and you can darken things up if you need to. Because I've thrown on a layer styles or this FX area here, it throws it under the layer here. So I can turn this off and I can turn it on and see what it looks like before and after. And there you go.